Alright, I didn't have audio commentary on the first game, but I will be doing it on this game, as I have just got my new computer back, and I have not started playing the game yet. Alright. So, in future games, I'll be recording them live. Well, I'll be, doing the audio live, so it won't be through a replay that we'll be watching. It needs to be on me. Alright, so the main thing that I'm looking for is, well, specifically for dodging. I'm heavy on dodging now, even on my other account, which I was testing shit on. I went from negative 100 LP to a triple promotion on the next win. Dodging, it's time consuming, but it means you can avoid risk of certain losses. Sometimes it just, the teammates look good and everything looks good, and then you play it and they all go 0 for 12, but not usually the case. So what I'm looking for is an actual support on my team and a decent comp. Preferably with a couple of melee champions and an enemy team that doesn't look too hard for me personally to beat, because I am looking to always be the carry. So I am kind of being forced to play defensive in this position due to the Nautilus Tristana all-in combination. But it's fine because we can just use the tower, and they're not too hard to avoid. I can tell where Nautilus's hook's gonna come from and make sure I'm not there when it gets thrown. And if Lulu gets hooked, well, that's our win condition. That's where we go all in on the Tristana. Point, I've bought the coal. I'm not even expecting just the Lulu to want to get hooked, so she's gonna stay out of hook range at all times. I expect anyways. And if she does get hooked, well, I don't need the HP from the Doran's blade, so I'm gonna be focusing on healing up and getting that extra gold from that coal. Is heavy on pushing, so I have to try and counter push. Just to thin out the waves every now and then. And this is the other thing about checking teammates, is if they look like they got very bad win rates, it is not a good idea to play that game. You can check their match history as well to check their KDAs, because it's... people can say whatever they like about KDA not being that big of a difference in games, but when your team's 0 for 5, you know it's not going to look too good for the future. So that's why I want teammates who do not feed, because the enemy being stronger makes the game a hell of a lot more difficult. Doesn't matter how much you get fed, if the enemy team has been getting even more fed off your teammates, you're going to be in for a hell of a rough time. I try and avoid those games where my teams do feed, so then I can farm up, become an absolute monster powerhouse, and have my way with the enemy, as honestly people don't actually understand that this game is an RPG. They're too busy trying to play it like fucking PUBG that they actually forget that the goal is to gain gold for items as quick as possible. And that's why my focus is more on doing my job and getting gold throughout the lane and the jungle. Whatever's up, whatever's nearest to me, I'm going for it. It's mine unless someone else is pinging and bitching about, you know, whoa, if I take it, oh, it's their jungle, etc. Most of the time, they won't actually have the awareness to know that I'm taking it. This is around bronze to silver, so and everyone just loves to do their shitty fucking run around trying to team fight. They all do it. They bitch that I'm not there, even though they can see that I'm not there. They attempt to do it anyways and then fail. Signature move from fucking everyone. And yeah, I just keep farming and then I kill the whole enemy team myself and end the game. And then they still commend me, usually. Yep, so we gotta get out. Blue team has slain the dragon. That means blue team's very close to dragon. And there's absolutely nothing I can do there. Except get some of that cheddar from those Malzahans. Voidlings, that's what they're called. And there's too much heat bot lane, so I just recall. My support died. That's a good time to recall so they don't have any opportunity to 3-man dive you. On top of that, Zoe is bot lane, and one key thing is don't be near your teammates when farm is there. Like, Zoe should have been getting that whole bot wave and then teleporting mid. But either way. Because remember, the quicker you're back, the quicker you get back to lane. That's a free kill on Malzahar if she didn't just run away. But she did, so that's okay. needed to make sure that I wasn't an option for Malzahar, because follow up from Nautilus, if they kill me, the next target is the Lulu, and she had flash, but still, she would have had to use it after I died as well. And it was a 2v2, you know, Tristana, she had already died. There was no reason why we can't just kill Malzahar in a 2v2. Especially with Lulu, if Malzahar targets me, Lulu can polymorph Malzahar after she negates his shield to cancel his ult. We just end up in a pretty good position. There was no... It was just easy for us, right? Just easy for us, but whatever. That's the thing about this, a lot of people won't actually understand what they can and can't do. All we need is a fairly even game at the start, and I can take it from there. That's what I've been focusing on with ADC. Just getting last hits and CS per minute up as high as I can. You don't have to push too hard, especially into these all-in heavy champs. We can just let them come to us. Especially since my support doesn't actually ward. So I need to be careful, and I can ward behind the tower to negate that kind of play. Those sketchy tower dives. Now, it's not too bad that my teammates are getting the kills, since if they are not doing too well on farm, which Yasuo is, he's beating me on farm. He's had a pretty dominant laning phase, so he's had the free farm the whole lane. Then, like you can see, Lee Sin's farm, it's not that good. It becomes a bigger percentage of their actual, you know, strength, basically. So giving them kills isn't too bad, especially if my focus through early to mid to late game is going to be more jungling like this. Setting myself up for basically getting as much gold as I can. And then with that gold lead, I can start looking for picks, which then snowballs that lead. And then straight back to farming. Basically, you want to be farming in... you want to be looking for kills only in between the timings of pushing waves out and jungle. So every time you push a wave out and the wave hits the tower, you have a timing. You have a timing window. So once the towers fall, that window becomes bigger. And I like to exploit the crap out of it. That's been my entire game plan. And it works so wonderfully. The laning phase is fairly even, you know. Not too much to worry about. Play safe. A gank comes from here and there. Not much happens. Back to farming. They get a bit of gold from the farm. No worries, who cares? She's on my team.
I'll be right
And this is a dicey situation because, in this particular situation they were both low and they still came back to lane, so I get a kill on them and a kill on him. And because they were both low and they chose to come back to lane, I can solo them and then get the solo farm and gold. Get that XP, look for a tower plating, although it's already fallen, so... Yep, so as soon as I get those kills, I'm looking to push the wave in and then either back, or if I can get the tower, depending on what I want to do. It also depends on the wave that will be coming in next. At these later stages of the game, the death times are a bit longer, so I know that I can push the next wave in, or get this tower as well, and then recall. So usually the wave just after the siege wave is the best time to recall, but sometimes you can't always get that. So I push that wave out and get off. Okay. But now I've set myself up for a bigger timing window of pushing the wave in and coming back to farm the Grump and Wolves. So, you know, my team's kind of just chilling at mid, defending mid, and that's fine. The very reason I shouldn't be at mid is because they are at mid. I don't need to be there with my team, especially when the enemy bot lane is a bot. You kind of want to mirror them. Right, that's the thing, is as long as someone is there, they can exploit the tower's defender's advantage. So if they get attacked, the tower then attacks the champion who's attacking them, right? So they've always got that defender's advantage. As long as the difference in power isn't too much. As long as one person isn't like 10 for 0, you know. They can't just tower dive you. Now, I used to have a playstyle that was kind of impatient, and I would end up getting tired of waiting for my teammates to engage at the time they're actually meant to, that would be beneficial, and I would run up myself and just end up taking too much damage, you know, getting jumped on by them, and everyone else follows up. The enemy team follows up, not my team, of course. That would be ridiculous. But yeah, I've just learnt to just keep falling back. If my team doesn't actually do what they're meant to, I can't do what I'm meant to. So normally I try and avoid my teammates for quite a while. Like, I give them the opportunity to do what they're meant to, and that's very important, because when they do it, then great. They sometimes do, they sometimes don't. But it's about reacting to your teammates. This is a big part of what I've found in this game that really works. Staying safe and reacting to whatever your teammates are doing, depending on your objective. So my objective as a hyper carry is to reach my max build as quick as I can. Doesn't matter about the enemy so much, except I want to get that lead on the enemy. So I'm going to try and never die. I will sometimes. That's just, you know, standard. Normally going to happen, but try and minimize deaths. And that's the sort of situation where I could have done a bit better. I could have flashed earlier. But, you know, I'm not perfect, I just keep practicing, keep trying. And I always love the Immortal Shield Bow because its scaling works so goddamn well with the Runans, and for the purpose of macroing, Runans is king for ADCs, and when it comes to what scales best with Runans, it's always the Immortal Shield Bow. And although the compatibility with Twitch has been reduced since it actually, the Runan's bolts used to also proc Twitch's passive, which means the Runan bolts also would become a piercing projectile which pierces through everything in its path, so you'd have basically 3 Twitch ultimate autos piercing through everything. That's been taken out, but it still works so well with the Runans, the Immortal Shield Bow and all that sort of thing. So definitely the #1 build for Twitch in my opinion, just based on how it all scales, what the goal is for Twitch as well. It helps him clear faster, follows the crit path and the multi-target path that he scales so well with. Like, he's a team fighting ADC primarily, but it's not so much about always being in team fight. It's about being effective for team fights. That's the thing. You don't just run around team fighting because then you... Team fighting is sort of like a roll of the dice, and it kind of keeps balancing itself out. There's not that many games where there'll be a 10-to-1 score difference. It'll like right now 14 for 10. It's not too different. So to both teams keep fighting, but neither of them are gaining much ground over each other, Whereas, right now, Yasuo and I have approximately 200 farm. And that is the advantage. That's become the reason we're actually still ahead despite the kills right now. He's got 70 farm over the enemy top laner. And I've got almost 35 farm over mine. So we have a pretty solid 100 CS difference over our laners. However, their mid laner and jungler have a 130 CS advantage over our mid and jungle. So me and Yasuo are carrying, Zoe and Lee Sin are getting carried, and that's pretty much how this game is going so far. Lulu's doing her best to run around with whoever. Actually, I don't know, whatever. But a lot of this team fighting that these people are doing, 5 deaths, 4 deaths, 2 deaths, 4 deaths, 3 deaths, etc. It's that time that you can't spend farming. You can get the kills, but what about the XP? XP is very valuable too. Right now I am level 13, the enemy Tristan is level 12, and the enemy top Ornn is level 13. So I'm even with a solo laner right now. So I'm able to just move forward and be a threat, especially after a team fight. That's where most ADCs shine, is in the cleanup duty, because ADCs are glass cannons. If the enemy has just used half or most of their abilities on your team, they don't have much else left for you. So your effectiveness in a fight becomes very strong. Becomes very potent because you're more than likely going to be staying alive during the rest of that fight. So you're gonna be pretty damn good. And then the cleanup gold from that fight will get you even further ahead. So you really should be farming a lot as an ADC. Like a lot. I didn't actually do as well. Actually, did I? No, I think I did better in the first game. Yeah, I was getting 10.5 CS per minute in the first game. I think the first game had a bit of a better laning phase too. But right now I should definitely be pushing bot. Okay, so I've just bought an Infinity Edge. That's the other thing, they do have a bit of a Fed Malzahar, he's mid. Kane's a bit of a threat too. I'm pretty sure Kane can 1v1 me. This is the trouble with the teammates constantly fighting too, is when it doesn't work out, they kind of make things more difficult to macro correctly. Like, I want to push that wave out bot, but there's also the threat of the enemy team being fed that is an issue. And I had a pretty good gold lead, so buying that Infinity Edge is pretty good. Now at this point I'm kind of just looking for picks because I can. And Infinity Edge is usually a team fight spike. If you are going to team fight, that's usually what you want before you team fight, because you're so damn effective. On top of that, that all scales with the Immortal Shield Bow's lifesteal and survivability, which adds more lifesteal duration. It all kind of adds up.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
And now, right now, I'm choosing to go bot lane instead of mid lane because I can get the farm and the gold myself from the tower. This is all about the future. This isn't about, oh, we need to push mid because I'm already there or whatever the fuck. You don't want to be sharing gold.
I'll be right under the noses.
That's key.
I was hiding.
Okay, so I expect Lee Sin to go topside jungle, so I'm just going to be recalling. There's absolutely nothing left to take on the map. Great time to recall. Doesn't matter what you have to spend. There you go, just bought an LDR outright. So now I've hit a secondary power spike, which I can start to do a lot more damage to tanks, which Ornn has built pure armor, because we have 3 AD, go team, but that's not too bad. We have 1 AP, so that's fine. Now Kane is the one I'm thinking of a bit of a threat, but I think I'm pretty much able to solo him now, so I'm not too worried about that. However, when the rest of his team comes, then it becomes a different story. Yeah, I have no problem soloing Kane. And my team's going over there. Yasuo's mid, everyone's holding, it's all good, so I can just keep pushing bot. Looking like they'll win that fight. I just soloed their strongest champion, so losing so I can come up for the cleanup. And back to pushing bot. They want to get Baron, that's fine, they can go get Baron. They don't need me for Baron. They're going to be able to get it before the enemy can do anything. As long as maybe Yasuo helps him, then Yasuo will end up going top afterwards, like on his way. It's fine for them both just to be there. So our mid laner should be pushing mid right now. I push the bottom wave in, then work on the entire enemy jungle. Or get a pick if I can. I'm greedy.
I was hiding.
Blue team has slain Baron Nashor.
And Lee Sin managed to lose the Baron. It's unfortunate, but there's not really much I can do. It wouldn't matter if I was there because Kayn can come in around the side through the wall and then just smite it and steal it. So it's best not for me to waste my time there because I got bot lane, I got red buff, and I got their Krugs. That denies them that gold as well. And you know, it's up to Lee Sin to win that. It doesn't matter if I can help them. The Baron itself isn't that big of a deal. It is 300 gold for each member of the team, plus the buff to minions and all that, but that's... in the end, that's not gonna matter, especially if we're ahead. Like, Baron is kind of a tool you use to end the game when you're on about equal strength. Like, it's you know, if the enemy can kill you, it's not much point having Baron. It only gives you a small buff. It's the minions that they need to clear that are a lot stronger with Baron buff that are the problem. But with them having Baron, that's not really relevant. You know, I'm happy to fight this because I can pretty much kill them all. I've got my Bladed Iron King as well. So I'm looking around, looking for pick. Not much is happening. One's by himself, which is interesting, but there's their main carry. Kill him, the rest is, yeah, pretty cake. They want to get dragon, they can go get dragon while I take the inhib by myself because I can. Don't need them to do that. Nazar's not really an issue at this point. I'm over 100 CS on him.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
At this point, I'm not even full build. I haven't sold my boots yet.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed. Blue team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
I'll be right under the nose. Oh, hello!
Yeah, I've got my potions, so I'm pretty much max build now, so... There are two options of either going bot or pushing top or mid. I'm kind of just waiting for the enemy to show up on the map. They were around our bot side jungle, but that's why I was kind of holding back to see if they'd try and collapse in behind me. And then I just pull out so they didn't know where I was, but if they get caught out like this, then the game's done. There's basically one fight, and chances are I'm going to win it due to my rank and my positioning. And then we just end. So, once I hit max build, I'm kind of looking to end as quick as possible. When I have this lead anyway. Oh no, this was the game. I got 10 CS, 10.5 CS per minute. Yep. So that's basically it. The reason I got this score wasn't because I got kills early, it was because I farmed early and then got the kills late. And kept farming. That is very important. I kept farming. I didn't get just a small lead, I got a big lead. I just kept farming and looking for any picks in between that farm. Whatever I can get. So, that was game 2. Might play game 3 tomorrow. And see how we do then. And that one will be live. Alright, catch you next time.